Going to lunch with Skip.
Hi,
Hello.
you are muted, but once you unmute, you can go ahead and begin.
Hi, good morning.
Morning. How are you?
I am wonderful. I'm Eunice Elliott. I'm with Humor Mill Digital Magazine. So we primarily focus on comedy, entertainment, and in our community. So this is really exciting to get a chance to talk to you guys. Thank you so much. So first of all, I'll start with you, Gracie. In getting ready for this conversation today, I saw a lot of myself in you. So that's me complimenting myself. But you do a lot of great things well. And so that's always exciting to see a creative that doesn't limit your talent to one thing. So talk to me about how do you manage focus when you are great and interested in doing so many things?
Well, it's funny. People ask me this a lot, and it's actually not that hard because things come in waves, like for instance, I think sometimes people think, well, you're on a show that must take up so much time. It's like, well, it does when we're shooting. We're only really shooting like 3 months out of the year. And even when we're shooting, I'm not necessarily shooting every day. And so I definitely have time. And even when you're on set, you have downtime when you're in your trailer. So that's usually the time I take to like write. And when I'm not working, I try to write in the morning either way, because I'm just better at writing in the morning. And then as far as taking on other projects like directing or producing stuff, I just take them as they come and see what I have time for and what I want to make time for. But I love doing all the things. Like, I think it would be really hard for me to just pick one thing. But luckily we're at a time, especially now with all the self-taping for acting, that you can be anywhere and kind of do it all. And I'm so grateful for that because I truly do love all of them.
I love that. That's exactly what I would have said. Aaron, for someone like you, who obviously your parents are successful actors and growing up to follow in their footsteps, have you ever thought about, number one, not pursuing the arts and acting? And if so, what else would you have done? Or is there something else you still want to do outside of this field?
That's a good question. I mean, I think growing up around it, it was what I had seen and what I knew. However, I will say that I definitely initially didn't necessarily want to be a part of the arts, especially not as a profession.
Okay.
It wasn't until I was, maybe 10th grade that I really started to focus in on that. And I think it was just because I just felt compelled. I felt drawn to it. It was something to do. It's still something that I need to do. It's a way for me to express myself or to tell stories that I feel aren't being told. And so, yeah, I've thought about what I would do outside of acting. And to be honest with you, I've never been able to come up with anything that would really make me happy or bring me any joy, like this profession does. I mean, obviously there's ups and downs, ebbs and flows, a lot of low moments sometimes. But at the end of the day, when you are working, when you are collaborating, I just think there's no feeling like it. And so I just hope to continue to do more in this field. I'm directing and writing as well. So, there's so much more to do in this field, like outside of acting. And so I've started to like really express that in a multitude of ways, I guess. Yeah, tap into that part of myself.
So you said you didn't initially think about it. Did your parents encourage you or encourage you not to do it initially?
They certainly didn't encourage me not to do it, but I mean, my parents being professional actors, they would get people would come up to them and ask, "Hey, does Aaron want to audition for this or that or this?" And they were always like, "No, we want to let him be a kid. We want him to have his childhood, and if he wants to do this later when he's an adult, then yeah, we'll be fully supportive of that." And they have been. And I'm really glad that they made me wait in on that because I just think the industry is so tough for us as adults that I couldn't imagine having to face some of the things we have to face now as a child.
So let me ask you, I would like to ask both of you this. Anybody can Google what Grand Crew is about. You guys have just kicked off season 2. Now that you've been in the mix and you're back and we know you and love you, outside of the log line, what would you both say from your perspective and even your character's perspective, what is Grand Crew about?
Outside of the log line.
What?
No, go ahead, Chris.
Oh, I was gonna say that I think it's about friendship and about kind of that interesting time in your 30s that I think carries on into your 40s of feeling transitional. Like, what do I want for the rest of my life? Like I'm kind of midway through. Like, what do we see for the second half? You know, and there's a lot of discovery when it comes to love and work and your friendship dynamic. So it's a little bit about all of that, about just that, like that I don't want to say midlife because that makes it sound like we're only going to live to 60 and we're definitely living older than that. But like, just, you know, that time when you're not in your 20s anymore, you know, the party time is over. Now it's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing with our life? And having a great group of friends to kind of share that experience with and lean on.
Okay, I have to wrap up my time. Final
Oh,
difference in, do you have a preference in whether you guys end up together or not on the show?
I'm sorry, you cut out. I couldn't hear the question.
Oh, I said I have to wrap up, but with this will they, won't they dynamic between your characters on the show.
Do we have a preference? And whether or not
Whether you do or you don't.
Yeah.
I want whatever the people want, you know. No, I think Anthony and Faye would be cute together. So, you know, I'd be interested in seeing if that were to happen, what that would look like.
Same. I want to see if it happens and what it'll look like.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. We all want to see what that would look like. Really, congratulations on everything. Thanks.
Thank you so much.